And a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Our focus is on the South today, but first, our top stories. Nigeria is marking 25 years of unbroken democracy and the first Democracy Day anniversary in the life of President Bola Tinubu's administration. In a statewide broadcast, the president acknowledged the contributions of Nigerians who were actively involved in the actualization of the June 12th mandate during the years of military dictatorship, while recalling his role as well as those who midwife the birth of our current democratic governance and ideals. President Tinubu said he's morally and constitutionally bound to protect it.
We lost great heroes and heroines along the way. In this struggle, the winner of June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola, the most significant symbol of our democratic struggle, his wife, Kudirat, General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, and Pa Alfred Iwani, amongst others, sacrificed their very lives. They bravely surrendered their fortunes so that our nation might have a better one. Let us honor the memories of Chief Anthony Enahoro, Chief Abraham Adesanya, Commodore Dan Sulaiman, Chief Athon Wanko, Chief Chukwuemeka Ezebe, Admiral Ndibusi Kanu, Chief Frank Kokori, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Adekunle Ajasin, Chief Gani Udaudu, Chief Ayo Fasami, Chief Gani Fawemi, Chief Olabi Idrojaye, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti, Chima Ubani, and others who have transited to higher realm. The sacrifices of General Alani Akinriyade, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, Professor Wole Soyinka, Chief Rap Obioha, Chief Colonel Adebayo, among many others, should never be forgotten. For at least 6 years, they bore the pain and difficulties of life in exile. We could not have won the battle against dictatorship without the irrepressible Nigerian journalists who mounted the barricades along with the pro-democracy activists. We celebrate them today, along with their media establishments, such as The Punch, The Guardian, National Concord, Tribune, The News and Temple, and Tel magazines. The undemocratic government of the day proscribed these media establishments and jailed their journalists for standing for free speech and civil liberties and the sanctity of the June 12th elections.
In his speech, the president called for a collective commitment to what he describes as the realization of economic democracy, for which he admitted is in desperate need of reforms, promising to always listen to the yearnings of the people. He also highlighted the negotiations with organized labor for a new national minimum wage.
I understand the economic difficulties we face as a nation right now. Our economy has been in desperate need of reform for decades. It has been unbalanced because it was built on the flawed foundations and over-reliance on revenue from exploitation of oil. The reforms we have initiated are intended to create a stronger, better foundation for future growth. There is no doubt that the reform has occasioned hardship. I feel your pains. Yet, there are necessary repairs required to fix the economy over the long run so that everyone has access to economic opportunity, fair pay, and compensation for its endeavor and labor. As we continue to reform the economy, I shall always listen to the people and will never turn my back on you. In this spirit, we have negotiated in good faith and with open arms with organized labor on a new national minimum wage. We shall soon send our executive bill to the National Assembly to enshrine what has been agreed upon as part of our law for the next 5 years or less.
As Nigerians celebrate, there are ongoing discussions regarding how the system of government has shaped national life. The Platform Nigeria, a special program of the Covenant Nation, is one that has provided an opportunity for eminent leaders of thought to reflect on the reality of the times. At the 36th edition of the gathering, which took place in Ikeja, Lagos, the convener and senior pastor of the Covenant Nation, Pojo Yemade, talked about the significance of the event with regards to current economic realities.
Today represents the day where historically it said Nigeria had its freest and fairest election. And from that struggle of June 12 came the birth of our democracy today. We want to honor all those who gave their lives for this cause. There were people who died fighting to make sure we have this. And democracy goes beyond, I just want to mention this and I'll sit down, beyond an election. In fact, an election or voting might just be the lowest part of the democratic experience. Those who founded democracy started out with freedom of speech. In other words, people have a right to air their own opinions and ideas about policies, about how they believe the community that they live in can make progress. And so we've come here today and to have an exchange of ideas. And in a democratic experience, our ideas don't have to be the same. In fact, the reason why there's freedom of ideas is that the best ideas for the progress of a community comes as ideas begin to interact among themselves.
Also speaking at today's special event is the governor of Anambra State and former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, who drew from his wealth of experience to expand the conversation on economic viability and reduction of financial waste.
Nigeria is a very poor country, and its public finance is broken. We're in the lower rung of the low middle income countries. We're back there. For over the last 50 years, especially since the first oil boom, when this country, we have much of our economic management has been responding to the volatility in the oil sector. If at any point we can artificially keep the exchange rate, as low as we want, we can fix it to 1 naira to $1 artificially today, and bingo, you'll be the richest economy in the world in dollar terms. But does that make any sense? Some years ago, per capita income in Nigeria had risen to over 2,500, even 3,200. We were then on the path to that sustainable path where you'll expect it to live 300 years and so on. But bingo, something has happened over the last 10 years. That is compression of our national income. We are now at about 50% of where it was.
In Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, members of the Abiola family gathered at the family house to offer special prayers for the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief Moshood Abiola. They paid glowing tributes to the late business mogul and philanthropist for his selflessness, duties, and commitment to humanity, as well as his contributions to the newfound democratic experience in the country. The Ogun State Governor, who was represented by his deputy, Noimot Salako Oyedele, also eulogized the late politician, saying that the state government will continue to leverage on his ideals and virtues for sustainable democratic value.
He was one of the greatest philanthropists that we have seen in this country. But nevertheless, he was not satisfied with his own personal achievements or his personal wealth. He wanted the best for everybody in Nigeria. And he sacrificed everything that he had. His wealth, his family, his time, and ultimately his life for us in Nigeria. And today we are here to honor him. We are here to pray for his soul. As Muslims, we believe that we can continue to pray for him and that these prayers will uphold him wherever he is. We are also here today celebrating 25 years of unbroken democracy in this country. This was what our father fought for. This is what he would have wanted in his lifetime. And I think this is the biggest legacy that we as Nigerians have been able to give to him, that he did not fight in vain, that the people who fought with him in 1993 went on to accomplish what he started, and that we who were not in the fight in 1993 continue to uphold what we believe in and are continuing to deliver to our people.
Meanwhile, lawyers in Lagos have staged a Democracy Day walk to demand for better leadership. The walk is part of activities to mark the Law Week of the Lagos branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA. The lawyers, who gathered as early as 7 a.m., began the walk from the Court of Appeal, Ibushiri on Lagos Island, through the streets of Awolowo Road in Ikoyi to Falomo on the bridge and back to the Court of Appeal.
We must continue to keep and preserve Nigeria's democracy. The worst of democracy is better than the best of the military regime. But the fact remains that people are not happy, the economy is fighting hard, and our leaders must do things to make sure that the average Nigerian is happy and the average Nigerian is able to compete favorably in this economy. The economy is biting, inflation is rising, but our leaders must listen. Our leaders must listen to our people and make sure that living in Nigeria, is what are well, and Nigerians do not continue to japa.
Why are professionals leaving the country to other countries? Basically, it's because they can't leave. Nobody can survive under the economic situation that we've been put in. Our currency has devalued. I'm 60. I'm over 60. If I was younger, I would leave, because I really don't know how the money I thought I had has really devalued and is nothing anymore. I really call on our government to really look into our economic situation. The country is groaning. We can't eat. Most lawyers in my law firm eat once a day. It's pathetic. And I wonder what we're doing and how we can restore democracy. So this work, in a nutshell, is to talk to the government and to talk to all of us, that we all have a role to play in ensuring that, the dignity of Nigeria and Nigerians are restored.
We're taking a moment now. When we return, we'll focus on stories coming from the South. Join us again. The Cross River State government has begun a tree planting exercise to curb the effects of climate change and promote sustainable land management practices to restore land, improve soil health, and build resilience to drought. Speaking in Calabar, the state capital, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Peter Ode, reiterated the importance of collaboration and partnership in addressing these issues. According to them, caring for the environment is crucial to combat the environmental crisis brought on by climate change and human activities.
The impact of climate change and deforestation in Cross River State cannot be overlooked, as illegal logging has become a pressing issue despite government's warnings, leading to the loss of its rich forest reserve. To address this, the Cross River State government has organized a 2-day series of events, including a symbolic tree planting exercise and visits to erosion sites, alongside students from different institutions to lecture them on the importance of land preservation. They also embark on a procession along the carnival route to create awareness about environmental protection. The government has committed to planting 5,000 trees to mitigate the impact of climate change.
The government of Cross River State remains committed to implementing proactive measures to promote land restoration, combat desertification, and enhance drought resilience through sustainable land management practices, afforestation initiatives, and community-based conservation efforts. We aim to safeguard our natural heritage and future generations.
The Environment Commissioner, Mr. Moses Osogie, stressed the importance of maintaining a healthy environment, focusing on the theme of land deforestation, desertification, and drought resilience.
In Cross River State, we are committed to implementing sustainable land management practices that promote the restoration of degraded lands, increase soil fertility, and enhance biodiversity.
For us, we take this thing very seriously. And of course, the government announced recently that we're interested in ensuring that we restore the ecosystem. 3 million trees are to be planted, economic trees are to be planted across our forest reserve to regenerate and bring back a situation where we'll have companies come.
The Cross River State government has appealed to stakeholders and local communities to join forces for a sustainable land management to address land degradation, drought, and desertification.
The Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Omo Eno, has ordered for the immediate reclamation of all trespass portions of the 82-hectare landed property acquired for the Ibom Tropicana Entertainment Center in Uyo, the state capital. Governor Eno gave this indication during an inspection of the theme park 14-story Tropicana Hotel building and 5,000 capacity conference facility at the Ibom Tropicana Entertainment Center.
The Ibom Tropicana Entertainment Center project was initiated by the Godswill Akpabio administration. It has a shopping mall, hotel, theme park, international conference center, among other facilities, but only the shopping mall is currently operational, while a large chunk of the project is yet to be completed. The governor, Umo Eno, is here to assess the current state of things due to his pledge to complete projects initiated by previous administrations and make them functional in order to grow the state's economy.
We have resolved to put the past behind us and then reevaluate these projects. We have structures on the ground and we believe we can take a look at it. What I'm doing right now is to see all of the vision, what it was all about, how we can link it together and how we can revive it. This can give several thousands of jobs to our Akwa Ibomites. That's what I'm thinking.
He has also directed the Commissioner for Lands, Captain Inyobong Ekong, retired, to avail him with the survey plan of the entire land area that was acquired by government for the project, with an intent to sack trespassers and bring down illegal structures.
This is clear. If anybody is here illegally, I can guarantee them we'll pull down any structure that is on this ground illegally. Because we must stop this attitude of people encroaching on government land and then just feeling that it's okay. I think this site will be an example. Anyone on this 1 inch of this property without proper approval, even if that project has been completed, I will bring it down.
The Ministry of Special Duties has been given a mandate to ensure the area is neat, while the Commissioner for Internal Security and Waterways is to immediately take over the security of the entire facility with a warning to vandals and hoodlums to stay off the area, as government will not hesitate to prosecute any violator.
The Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja Latin Church Archdiocese, Cardinal John Onaiko, has called for more investment in public schools to improve the standard of learning. Cardinal Onaiko believes that the average Nigerian child deserves quality education from affordable government schools without having to pay higher tuition fees in private schools. He made the comment in his address as a guest speaker during the Parents' Summit as part of activities marking the 2024 Education Week in Edo State. Before inaugurating the Parents' Council for Schools in Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki said part of the education reform is to actively involve parents in school administration.
There should be furious effort to make our public schools compete well with the non-government institutions. It is the only sure way to make it possible for the children of the poor to have access to good standard education. Such effort will gain a lot from being open to collaboration to others outside of government who are involved in education. Education is so important for the nation that everything should be done to make it available and affordable for all parents. Our Lord God gives his gifts of talents to children as he wills, not only to the children of the rich. To neglect the children of the poor is to waste the gift of talents that God may have given to them, all to the great loss of the nation. We can and we should stop such avoidable loss to our nation.
One key pillar which we introduced, and I thank God that we did, because if we did not, we will not be here today, is the involvement of the community in the governance and ownership of our schools. It is that pillar that has led to this Parents' Summit. It is that pillar that led us to set up the school-based management committees in each school, and the parents' teachers associations, and now the alumni associations for each school. Cardinal, we have moved as a government from a situation, a position where government feels arrogantly that it owns everything and it knows everything. We in government in Edo know that our citizens know more than us as government.
The Rivers State government says it's intensifying efforts to ensure that more teenage girls receive the HPV vaccine. At a joint briefing with medical experts, community and religious leaders, the executive secretary of the state's Primary Healthcare Management Board said the vaccine can be accessed free of charge in all the 344 primary healthcare centers in the 23 local government areas. The stakeholders also dispelled the myths about the HPV vaccine, which prevents some diseases like cervical cancer. The Bayelsa State government has assured residents of its commitment to complete ongoing projects in the state. The permanent secretary in the ministry gave the assurance during a transparency briefing for the month of February, March, and April. He commended the governor for his commitment in opening up the various riverine communities with roads such as the 3 senatorial roads and other critical infrastructure. And he also gave a breakdown of all the monies that came into the state in the last 3 months. The Nigerian Army is creating more awareness for its personnel on financial responsibility through a series of trainings held annually. This year's week-long training was held at the 6th Division headquarters in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. The Chief of Accounting and Budget of the Nigerian Army, Major General Adetokunbo, who was represented at the event, gave an insight into the program, which focuses on enhancing the skills and knowledge of the Army's finance department. In earlier remarks, the General Officer commanding the 6th Division, Major General Jamal Abdulsalam, emphasized the division's commitment to ensuring quality training for its men. That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlani.